since we are recording this on a Wednesday, I figured we'd go over some of the big highlights from the election results, even though as we record this, many of them aren't in. And, one of them, the Herschel Walker, that shit won't happen for another month probably. So let's just go over some of the high profile stuff. In Pennsylvania, Democratic Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman defeated Republican Dr. Mehmet Oz in a race that could help the Democrats hold on to the Senate. Fetterman suffered and is still recovering from, by the way, a stroke. He's replacing Republican Senator Pat Toomey, who's retiring.
He got screwed a little bit in that when he did the debate with Oz, he started off by saying, good night.
Good night. Yeah.
And I thought to myself, well, he's technically right.
Yeah. Good evening.
It's a lovely night.
But why can't you could say, but if you say good night, it means you're leaving or it's the end. But good evening, night and evening are interchangeable, but not that phrase.
Yeah. No, you're right. Let's see. In Georgia, the battle for the Senate seat between Republican Herschel Walker and Democrat incumbent Raphael Warnock, too close to call, likely headed to a runoff. I don't know if you saw George Takei's tweet, which I'm 99% sure people do that for him. Said something to the effect of, I wonder if Herschel Walker knows that a runoff is part of what you do for an election, not what he did to his children. That was pretty fucking funny.
I thought it was something about toting the rock.
California Governor Newsom handily reelected.
He doesn't even try anymore.
Do we know who he's running against? Do we know?
I looked at the name and I can't remember.
Bain or something. I just voted for him, whoever it was. But I didn't look, I can't remember. But Newsom was ahead, projected to win by 21 points or something. But he only won by 10. I think.
It's a message.
Chris can look it up. But that just means there's a lot of Moranos who went to the voting booth and went like, listen, I'd be run out of Santa Monica if anyone saw me do this, but I'm so fucking tired of this shit. I'm just going to punch. Yeah. I'm just going to punch whoever the Republican guy is. Maybe can put an end to some of the bleeding. Like, no one knew who the guy was. He didn't spend any money. Dahl, I think it was. Well, it was 42 to 57, so it was 15.
That's impressive, given that none of us know his name.
I was going to say.
I didn't spend a penny. Nobody knew who he was. There's just enough people that just went, fuck it.
Right.
Yeah.
New York Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul won re-election over Lee Zeldin. Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott beat Democratic challenger Beto O'Rourke. Pennsylvania. This one was interesting because Democrat John Shapiro won, beating Republican Doug Mastriano. And the only reason his name kept coming up was because he had a lot of theories. He was a QAnon supporter and a little out there.
Yeah, there's this thing which I didn't know existed, but kind of makes sense. He was supported by the Democrats because they want a nutty person to run against.
Oh, sure. Sure.
They dumped all their support behind the guy who they didn't think was beatable.
As opposed to the better candidate.
Right.
Yes, and then some people go, you hate all the conspiracy theories and the election deniers. Why are you supporting the election denier? And it's because we want to win.
It's a risky little game.
I think it's a smart game. It's also a little ambiguous morally because you hate election deniers. Why are you supporting the election denier? But it's so we can win.
The long game. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Maryland Democrat Wes Moore defeated Republican Larry Hogan. Stacey Abrams was beat by Brian Kemp in Georgia.
I was thinking about the debate with Dr. Oz and Fetterman was a shit show. Obviously, he's impaired. But, with all the mail-in and early voting, a lot of people vote before they see the debate.
Sure.
So I would like us to vote in person after the debate.
I thought they scheduled the debates before votes were allowed. Am I wrong about that?
You can mail in your votes a month ahead of time, but then the debate was after. I mean, you can mail them in, and then they can have the debate, or whatever goes on in Arizona, which is no debate. Which I'm not down with no debate.
Yeah.
You got to debate.
I agree. Florida, Ron DeSantis reelected. By the way, Trump has thoughts about that. He is really honing in.
He didn't count on DeSantis.
No, he I have it in here somewhere, but he was on some flight somewhere and told the journalists, "Oh boy, I know things about DeSantis that even his wife doesn't know, or nobody knows it better than I, except maybe his wife. It's a bombshell."
Well, DeSantis is all the stuff people like about Trump minus all the baggage.
Bombastic.
Right. Although, he'll be painted as a racist and a whatever, misogynist, whatever, but he just doesn't have all the Stormy Daniels in the past and the Billy Bush hot mic stuff. He's just kind of took a page from Trump's playbook. He's aggressive. He's going after it. Florida is just completely red now. And there's an interesting thing which gives me some hope. And it's something I never liked. I always hated this voting base. It's like blacks vote with us. Biden said to Charlemagne the God, you don't vote for me, you're not black. It's like,
I believe it was you ain't black.
You ain't black. That's a racist statement, old white guy. Black people are allowed to vote in different directions.
2022
spectrum.
Yeah. So there used to be, it's like, oh, if you're black, we got your vote, and if you're Hispanic, we got your vote.
Oh, those days are over.
But not in Dade County.
No.
They're like, we're done with this shit.
Well, and I think like the Cuban vote is historically conservative, right?
They're conservative, but in general, the Hispanics, at least the ones I've worked with my entire life in California, they're pretty family-oriented, kind of conservative, religious, hardworking people. Like that, they're not down with whatever Beto's talking about. They like his name, but they're not
just
down with the agenda. And so the thing I like is people just voting for whatever their morals are, whatever their standards are, whatever. Like it goes like Whitey gets to do.
Yeah.
We get to go, hey, you care about abortion. He cares about taxes. We're going different directions here. Not just going, this group of people always votes for us. It never works out for that group of people. And you shouldn't just count on a block because their last name or the color of their skin.
I mean, Jesus Christ, my voter ballot was all over the road for those reasons. And I think that there wouldn't have been this big turnout. And I'm hearing this on the news as well. But it's like, if you just left stuff like reproductive rights alone, you would have Republicans could have swept, but you had to throw in shit that just didn't sit right with people.
Well, we're also a lot more, what they haven't realized is we are more feelings-based than we ever were. And you can't do things like abortion conjures lots of feelings, like feelings, you know what I mean? Like more people, versus taxes, borders, stuff like school boards, surplus tax thing, transportation, it's a blah, blah. But if you're going to get into stuff that conjures feelings, and we're in the age of feelings, then you're going to conjure a bunch of feelings.
Well, and states flipped over it the other day when you said that, people don't really care about abortion. It doesn't seem like that in all the states that now have pulled back on letting women do what they got to do between them and their doctor.
Statistically, I don't say they don't care about abortion. Economy's number one, usually. Sometimes crime, number two, and abortion's
But a lot of those states are the ones that have now taken those rights away from women. It's like
you're
if
only
cared,
dealing with percentages.
Yeah.
You don't. It's like talking about blocks. Blacks vote now less, but they're 93% Democrat. If that ever went down to 71%, they'd never win another election.
Yeah.
You just like shave a few percentage points.
That's kind of my point. Like if you just focused on the economy and you just focused on that stuff, then you'd have all these other supports. But you had to sneak in some other shit that people weren't down with.
I half agree with you. The other half is where they get to calling everyone racist. I think some people would believe that. That's another thing that conjures.
Right.
Speaking of that, you watch these goddamn elections. It is, black guy running against black guy, women on women fighting it out, black woman going against a white guy, lots of Hispanic surnames in there. There's, Oz is Muslim, I think. Like, he's not one of the good ones. We don't, no.
Damn it. Turkish?
People care about diversity, but if the guy's on the right, then fuck him.
I got
Candace
it.
Owens isn't a black woman.
Right.
But so you don't really hear anything about it unless you're talking to Mark Garagos because he's Turkish and Mark's pissed. But can we just call an end to this part where it's like we need representation? We need a that looks like the country. You turn on the election results, you're hard pressed to see like white dude. It's like Jewish guy, white woman. In New York, Zeldin's Jewish and Holcomb's a woman, and then you got the two women, Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. I mean, it's pretty.
Yeah.
We're down to Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock, right? The two brothers. And then we got the two women in Arizona going at it. And then we just had Fetterman and the Muslim guy. It's pretty diverse, right?
Yeah. The ring's open.
Okay.
Okay, good.
There you go.
Let's just go through some of the quick California props that you didn't vote on.
Stupid school one. The music one passed.
The Prop 1, we're leaving the people alone with their abortions and their contraceptives. Prop 26 allows Native American tribes to offer sports betting. Did not pass. Really did not pass. Like 70-40.
I don't get what.
Wait, so is legalized gambling coming?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, who cares?
Can I play FanDuel?
I guess.
That's why I was confused about it. Legalizing sports betting via agreements with Native American tribes, no by 83%.
We just gave $2 billion away in a fakakta lottery. Like, what is it? Do we gamble? Do we not get it? It's good. It's evil. It's good. It's immoral. Like, it's you either gamble or you don't.
Yeah, you're right. The arts programs passed pretty handily. Ugh. California Proposition 29 regulates the staffing of kidney dialysis clinics, which I still don't understand. That did not pass.
The bigger question is, why is there one of these centers on every corner now versus who's staffing them?
Right.
Like, did anyone hear about dialysis or kidney failure? I mean, diabetes. I mean, when you were growing up, this is like your mom's fat friend or something had something, but this is now just a big thing. Yeah. That's a bigger question. Why is this a big thing?
That's a great question and an observation. We are upholding the law barring the states from selling those flavored tobaccos and imposes a tax to support the purchase of electric vehicles. That was a no.
Oh, does it? It doesn't say flavored tobacco, does it?
Flavored tobacco.
But it's water.
It says, I think it's vegetable glycerin, but yeah, tomato.
Oh, but are they talking about like dip that's, honey glazed?
Deliciousness.
Cool
kids,
ranch.
I was going to say, my kids are going to need ranch dip when they're older because...
Right.
Wait, what? You mean ranch dip, like with chips?
No, like plug. Like
ranch chaw.
Red Man skull. They're going to eat chaw.
New kind of ranch.
They're not going to be able to sit in an office environment without the flavor of ranch for 3 hours at a time. They're going to
you can't expect them to.
No, that's unfair.
They're going to have to do a little pinch between their cheek and tongue.
Yeah. Have either of you ever done that?
No.
When I was
the dip?
Yeah.
No.
When I was in high school and we played baseball, sometimes there'd be a little dipping.
Didn't it make you so sick? I dated, I don't know if that's a word, with a guy in high school. It was Kansas. They all did it. And I tried it, and I was so nauseous, I thought I needed to go to the hospital.
It'll give you a light head.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to swallow the dip.
Oh, yeah.
No, but just having it in there, I was like,
My favorite moment in life was my dip-related story when I was doing a show. It was me and August and Mike Lynch, I think, and we were coming back from a show, I don't know, Boston or somewhere, and like the doors opened in the elevator on like the 9th floor, and there was two big drunken dudes standing there, and then one guy just looked at me and he goes, "You guys got any dip?" And we said, "No," and he went, "Pussies," and he walked down the hall. I don't know what his batting average is on collecting dip from other patrons of the hotel.
You got to be out there.
I felt it was unnecessary that he punctuated with a pussies.
You asked 0
aggressive.
times, you're going to get 0 dip.
That's
Yeah,
true,
that's
but
true.
he definitely called us pussies for not having dip on us. Yeah, I remember a story very clearly, which is there was some dipping going on. Dip is different. There was the red man stuff, which is like leafy stuff, and then there's the sort of ground up Copenhagen kind of stuff.
That's the one I'm thinking.
And Walt Garrison, the great, well, you know Walt Garrison. Walt Garrison, the great running back for the Dallas Cowboys, used to do a commercial for Skull. Oh, and so did Campbell.
Earl Campbell?
Earl Campbell did a dip.
Didn't know.
They should get NFL guys to do dip commercials. They should have got baseball guys to do. You can't really
Yeah.
dip with a mouthpiece and stuff. But
Well, defense is on the field.
yeah, that's true. We would dip a little in high school on the baseball team, and I'll tell you the rest of the story as soon as we see Walt Garrison dipping.
You know, when I've got a little extra time on my hands, I like to do things I really enjoy, like roping. But there's one thing I enjoy all the time, and that's tobacco. And just like millions of other guys, I get my tobacco pleasure without lighting up, because I use smokeless tobacco. My favorite brand is Skoal with the wintergreen taste. And just a pinch between your cheek and gum is all it takes. And boy, it sure does feel good in there. So take it from me, Walt Garrison. Do something you're really going to enjoy. Try going smokeless.
All right.
Yeah, I used to
Sold.
watch those commercials when I was a kid.
Dawson, you convinced?
No, I was a Copenhagen guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were on a bus. The baseball team was on a bus, and we're going to play an away game, Silmar High or something. And so everyone was on the bus, and the bus was just kind of parked and running, and it was like, yeah, the coaches were like, "Hey, get on the bus," and we sat on the bus, but the bus wasn't going anywhere. And we were just kind of sitting in the parking lot of North Hollywood High in the bus, but they weren't going to let anyone get off the bus. And then so the word kind of went around, who's got some chaw? Anyone got any dip on this bus? And the answer was no. So we were sitting on the bus, and I saw Beth Ringwald go walking by or driving by or something, and I was friends with her. So I, yelled out the window like, "Hey, Beth, get us, run to the liquor store in the corner and get us some dip."
Would you?
Which I guess you could do back then. And so I don't know. We passed a hat, found $5 or something, gave it to her. But it's like, hurry, because they're not going to hold the bus. We're just going
For
to
your
take
dip.
off when we take off. And then she ran to the liquor store and came back with a pouch of pipe tobacco.
All right.
Which is, I should have killed
Classy.
myself right then, because someone should have tapped me on the shoulder and go, "You're going to have
This is
millions
your
of
life."
these interactions. This is your entire adult life is going to be you explaining to somebody and you getting a bag of tobacco that is made for a pipe."
This will be the next 40 years.
But
Yes.
high school kids are dumb. Did they do it anyway?
Of course.
I think we probably shoved like a little in there, no.
disgusting.
It did not work.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Cannon is now expecting his 11th child.
I'm so old-fashioned because I'm like, how often can his wife get pregnant? Because he has kid craps out in February,
Right.
and then he has another one in May, and then he has
Does
2 in June.
It's
and I'm
beyond
like,
science.
who's
Irish
this woman?
triplets.
Yeah, and it's like he's got multiple women.
Makes no
Putting some
sense.
miles
Well,
on the woman's birth canal.
he just announced that he's expecting a second kid with model Alyssa Scott. Their first child, a boy named Zen, died last year after he was diagnosed with brain cancer. He was just months old, I think.
Oh, boy.
Scott posted an intimate, I'm sorry, I don't know if we have it, an intimate bathtub photo, there it is, of Cannon rubbing her belly while she's standing over him naked. The caption says, "This is a miracle and a blessing." The other kids are Monroe, Moroccan, Golden, Powerful Queen, Rise Messiah, Onyx Ice, Zion Mixolydian, Zillionaire, and Legendary Love.
And Ted.
And Bruce.
I don't know if you guys are like me, but the intimate pregnant picture feels intrusive.
Well,
to
the
me
word
almost.
intimate suggests that you should keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
even the Demi Moore and the Vanity Fair, just say you're pregnant. It's great.
We get it.
It's nice. It's not beautiful to everyone. But you're naked and your boobies are bigger. But
This is just a model showing off that the only part of her body that got bigger was her belly.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything else is
right.
ready for the camera.
Exactly
Yes.
where she left it.
All right. Now, what if Nick Cannon approached you, Gina?
And
You know,
He
he's
wants
doing
to go
pretty
for
well for
lucky number
himself.
12?
He's hosting
America's Got Talent?
No, The Voice. No, the singer.
Singer?
Mass Singer?
Mass Singer's got lots of other irons in the fire.
Sure. A lot of irons in the fire.
You know, he's going to take care of you, you know. for a
Is he,
while.
though? How much could he possibly make?
There must be contracts drawn up, right? You just cannot willy-nilly just impregnate, 9 separate women
Yeah.
without the
Bad
litigation.
idea.
and
Right.
so there's got to be a standard form that he's got to do. I don't know how he impregnates you, but I think that's part of it.
I mean, well, the question is, like, how much for my womb?
Okay.
Is that what you're asking me?
I don't even really.
That's the point. I mean,
Since you bring it up,
I don't really know what I'm asking, honestly.
if everybody has a price, and
Yeah.
I'm looking for a house,
That's what I'm saying.
and I'd like to have more of an option than just the 2-mile radius in the valley that I'm currently in. So I think my husband and I would think this was a wise business decision.
Okay.
2.37.
I agree.
Exactly.
All right, let's do one more.
Oh, good. Well, I've been sitting on this one. This actually could be a good way to make money. And I checked on the website. There's a TikTok user named Lisa Fedolino who says she makes well over $100,000 a year for pooping, but not in like an OnlyFans way, in like a scientific way. So apparently there's a site called humanmicrobes.org, and you can go there to see if you have like the right stuff that they need to be a professional pooper at a fee of $500 per sample. You have to undergo a test to verify that your stool type and physical fitness is what they're looking for, and complete a video interview. So I went to the website where they explain everything. Here's a clip of the first minute just to give you an idea of what's happening here.
We want your poop. No, we need your poop. Let me explain. I'm with humanmicrobes.org, and your poop could change someone's life. Recent research has shown that the microbiome, the microbes that live in our gut and help us to digest food, also play a major role in our overall health. And modifying and restoring our gut microbiome has become a major investigative avenue for treating numerous illnesses. Half of the mass of our stool is microbes. A procedure called fecal microbiota transplant, or FMT for short, involves transferring these microbes from a healthy donor to a sick person.
Oh, this thing.
Through this process, FMTs offer a potential new treatment option for a long list of conditions, many of which may surprise you, including irritable bowel syndrome, obesity, and even mental disorders.
I don't remember that from the video.
Funny because it's true.
Mental disorders.
Listen, everything is going on at the gut level. Every day they find out some new information about it. Everyone is fucking themselves up, and they're allergic to everything. And they're who do you know? Everyone is on some sort of Mylanta or Tums, and they're on the Zyrtec and this Zantac. We're gobbling this this stuff up at record levels, and I don't get it. I know we're cleaning our stuff up too much, and it's affecting our flora and our fauna. We were not meant to live in pure health. That's part of the problem. But yeah, and I would also suggest, I think people are like way too fast to there's two things people to protect about. One is I've never been around a woman where I've cracked the cottage cheese and had a little moss or something on top of it, and I just pop it out in the sink, and then I just start eating it. And they're like, no, whoa, so gross. And I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So we got this weird, like, everything is so gross. Everything is like, people look at the expiration date on like some yogurt or something. Go, this thing expired 4 days ago. I go, give it to me. Taste it. It tastes fine. No, it's look at the expiration. Taste it. It's fine.
It's a guideline.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, we're way too nutty about that. And then everyone has some sort of lactose intolerance. Everyone has something. And I'm saying that shit is connected. I grew up like a Amish feral cat, just living outdoors, rolling in dirt, digging and boring into the sand. And that was it. Just one of my greatest days is when we used to go to Santa Monica Beach, and they'd have that sewage storm drain thing that would spill out in the ocean.
You get your microbes
Water
there.
was 10 degrees warmer because it was piss.
Because it's pee.
And I would fucking spend all day in that swampy mess.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you not have gills?
Turn it on, ladies.
So funny that you said that. All right, let's bring in. Stromer said to me earlier today, you should have gills.
Wow.
Like
Here we are.
Waterworld. Like,
Wow.
literally said it where you're standing 3 hours ago. All right, let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
All right, Tucson, Rialto Theater, December 15th, doing stand-up there, and then off to the Improv in Tempe, December 16th, 17th. Live shows and stand-up there.
The whole gang's going to Tempe, too.
That's right.
Oh, the whole gang's going. All right, good. So we'll do that. And then Dallas, Working Blue with John Popper. He'll do a show. I'll do a show. We'll do a show together. We can do a little bar crawling and have a good time. That'll be January 20th through, January 20th and 21st. And that'll be in, where the hell
Dallas.
is that? Dallas, yes. Is that up there, or am I not seeing that?
The first thing.
Oh, Dallas. Oh, I guess I'm looking for the name of the hotel. Which one is it at? The Sheraton?
The Sheraton, and then we'll be at the Echo Theater. It's
That's what
it's
I was.
all at
fascinated.
adamcrow.com, all that info.
All right, and Steve Forbes, inflation, what it is, why it's bad, and how to fix it. And until next time, this is Adam Crow for Steve Forbes and Gina and Bald saying, mahalo.